Tang, Abaka Talk Sports. Fellow viewers, you're welcome to another episode of Abaka Talk Sports. Today we are talking special FIFA Club World Cup. Here with me in the studio we have the gaffer Konkataka and the mayor of Chester Mayor. Coach, former coach of Spirit FC. I greet you boys.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Balak.
Thank you, Balak. It's good to be here.
Yeah. I'm blessed to be in the midst of two great coaches. Taka coached with coached Team Cameroon versus Saskatoon and Regina for years. Dan Eddie, as I said earlier, the
Mm.
former coach of Spirit FC. So I want to pick their brains. Do you guys have anything to say before we introduce our topic?
Personally, haven't been to this show before. I think I enjoyed it a lot. I watched all of the last episodes,
Yeah.
particularly the one with Veron. I think you guys are doing an awesome job, and everybody who is listening to this show, please share, subscribe, share to your friends. Let's promote this. It's a great place to have insight about soccer as a whole. So great job, Balak and your team.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, no, just double that on that too. Just plus one on Daniel's point, man. Great show about Qatar Sports. The last time I was here, I did a very bad prediction, Champions League. PSG really whooped Inter Milan's out, so I should know better than that. But
Yeah.
looking forward to the opportunity. Thank you for the time, space to share my opinions on football, a game I love so much.
Yeah, so Ajabu will join us shortly. He's not here due to logistics, but I know he'll join us. Yeah, so we're talking FIFA Club World Cup. This competition actually started in 2000, so that's 25 years ago. First edition. I think Nicolas Anelka scored the first goal. Real Madrid versus Al Nassr. So over the years, FIFA have been trying to revamp it because when it started, it was a seven nations tournament, the champions of each confederation, like UEFA, CAF, and all that stuff. But when Man City won it in 2023, they changed the format to 32 teams played in the summer to raise more money and to compete more. It was easier for the European teams to win it back then because they play just against African and South American and Asian teams. But right now we have teams from Europe. So, Pundit, there's been a lot of contradiction or backlash regarding the selection format for the teams. I know I'm putting on a Chelsea jersey, but so many fans have been rumbling around that how
Why
do
is Chelsea?
yeah. So do you guys want to start about the format of selection? Like what can you guys say?
Yeah, I think you did. You gave a rundown, but one thing that I would like to add, I think in 2016, that was when they initially announced that they were going to go with the expanded option, which was supposed to be hosted by China in 2021, but due to COVID, that was changed. So they pushed that to 2025, which is the first version. So the initial idea of expanding the team started in 2016. They did some deliberations and then came up around 2017 when they actually adopted it and awarded it to China. But the format has been very controversial, even from when they conceived the 2016 conversation. When they started having that conversation, people were like, how do you determine which team is qualified? And that has always been an issue. Now, it's kind of technical where they leave every team, every federation to choose who is representing. But as we all know, that's not the case in the States. FIFA actually had to choose a particular team in the States as opposed to letting the federation make those decisions. So that's the biggest controversial win. I believe that that's part of the item that we'll discuss. Inter Miami,
Damn, and
Messi's team.
Mrs. Steve, okay.
Yeah, as a colleague. And they're actually doing the opening game. So that's the biggest controversy. If you go online, you see a lot of people criticizing and saying that the tournament has lost credibility and it even affected, based on, again, this is kind of, they can't attribute it, but it affected the ticket pricing because the ticket pricings were initially set to over about $2,000. But so many people have been criticizing the format, the choice that it's not transparent. So FIFA is kind of controlling the selection and not explaining the full width of the rules and regulations that require that determines which team is qualified and which team is not.
Taka, do you have more light on that?
No, first off, I first of all think it's a good idea. I think the Club World Cup, the way it was going, the visibility, mid-season, I didn't like it very much. So I love the idea that, FIFA World Cup now, they're trying to make a summer thing. They're bringing in like first-time participants in. I can see some African teams in there. So it's good. It's a good idea, to be honest. I'm not against it. Yes, more games,
Mm.
but I'm not against the format. Selection-wise, I see where FIFA is coming from in terms of like we need to make sure that we pick the teams that generate revenue and bring money, right? Because I'm seeing that's a $1 billion project,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which teams actually can pull that crowd? So they are thinking about that too. Messi's team, Inter Miami, they have to pull that crowd in. So they're in a tough spot that we don't want to do it by ranking because you have teams that are not very popular that have done so well, they can't pull crowd, they can't call the attraction. So I see where FIFA is coming from, and I understand that they're gonna gamble this first to see how it goes. But um I think I'm a big fan of it. It's a big thing for football, to be honest with you. And I understand the controversy. I just want us to launch and see how this new format works. Because the same thing they've changed the format in Champions League, right?
Yeah.
The one about no more home goal. At first I was like, but that has been the best thing that FIFA has done for Champions League in a long time.
UEFA for
Yeah,
Champions League.
UEFA, sorry. Yeah, UEFA have done it in a long time. So sometimes just give a chance, just see how it is. So I'm just like, you know what? I love that change in UEFA with Champions League. So hopefully this new Club World Cup will make the competition a bit more better than what it has been before.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
great intake from you guys. Taka, I just want to follow up your point because we have to talk about, as you said, you're a fan of it.
yeah,
You're not a fan of so many games. But now, can we talk about the benefits for the smaller clubs in this FIFA Club World Cup? Because any FIFA event, there's a rising star. There's a rising star somewhere coming this June that teams will go after. Can we talk about the benefits? Dame, do you want to go first? Like the benefits of to the smaller clubs and even the bigger clubs, of course. Like there are always benefits to anybody.
Oh, look, one of the biggest benefit that you look at, and again, sometimes I'm a little bit biased because I can't call myself a Pan-Africanist if you're allowed to say that because we all origin from Africa, right? Right. If I look at the small clubs in Africa, for example, there are four of those clubs. Each of them is guaranteed 9.25 million
yeah,
participation
Wow.
fee,
Yeah.
yeah,
and then they're getting 2 million per game won.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, if they win just one game or draw one game, they're guaranteed $10 million. You know
yep,
what that would do to that club in Africa, right? It's
yeah,
going to enrich them, it's going to elevate them to a different standard, it's going to give them the ability to actually modernize their training pitches and pay their players properly. So it's a great thing. And secondly, it also gives that exposure to their players to the international scene, right? You take Al Ali or Mamadi Sundown. South Africa is playing against Chelsea or Bayern Leverkusen and stuff like that. You see the exposure that these players are going to have. This is the only opportunity that they actually have to compete with these top-ranking European teams in the same competition. So that aspect alone and the financial exposure, I think it's a great thing. Mhm.
Taka, do
yeah,
you have
yeah.
anything to throw on that? He might
No,
have said some of the things you just wanted to say.
yeah,
I
yeah.
want
No,
to
it's no, no, no. Daniel did it exactly, man. Like the financial is immense. 10 million, $10 million for a
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
Yo,
if you win,
for
if
a
you win
summer
first.
competition, your club have never seen that kind of money, right? That's a lot of money for infrastructure, for talent, for field, man. And then the talents in Africa or in regions like this that may not make a national team for a World Cup for visibility now have an
Yeah,
opportunity now through the clubs.
yeah,
So during a World Cup season like this, that's when club players really move around. But now there's another route where you can actually see players' talent from local clubs
yes,
that European clubs can pick up for higher wages, right? Or maybe for transfer fees, something like that. So it is a great win, especially for CAF. I know FC major win for CAF, like major win for them.
yeah,
Good money, good exposure. And then you also improve CAF competition too as well. Now the clubs in there will take it seriously because
yeah.
now there's something to
They are
really
aiming
fight
for a
for.
bigger price.
Yes, yes. So
It's a
now
bigger price, yeah.
that's going to improve CAF competition too as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. If I took one thing from there, as these guys have said, and if you're watching, they said the money. It's all about the money.
yeah,
I am thinking so. It's all about the money. Says FIFA. FIFA, they want to generate. You said it's a $1 billion project,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
There's TV rights, there's broadcasting, there is
yeah,
talent exposure
yeah.
and all that. Now looking at the other side, the benefit and then the disadvantages. Taga. It's been a long season for Real Madrid, for Paris Saint-Germain and other stuff. Do we have any disadvantages? And
Yeah.
mind you, this tournament is 1 month. That means a guy that just played Premier League will have maybe. some people won't go for a break because they had Nations League. They are flying to the US for this tournament, and then they'll have maybe 1 week rest and then back to the EPL. That
Yeah.
fatigue, is it a major factor? Players rest. That's the case. Do you guys want to throw more light on that?
Yeah, no, I can go first. Yeah, like you've said it, like player getting overworked, man. It's crazy. So if you're looking at a club like PSG or Man City, who went through Premier League, Champions League, domestic cups, they're now added into a 32 team club World Cup. That's a crazy calendar, right?
Yeah,
Um, so this is just shows that it's a money business now. Like FIFA is now is all about entertainment, money, and I know that fans want to pay. But it just shows that now clubs now have to really look into investing in full squads. Like before you know it, in the near future now, soccer will probably be like football will like just be like football now, like NFL, where you have like 40 team members because they will have to actually invest in more players so
yeah,
that now you can have like two different teams playing in multiple competitions.
yeah.
Yeah, just to work on just to work against the rotations and the burnout that the players are going to face in the future. Because it's a lot of games. It's a lot of games for 1 year.
And traveling,
Traveling too.
traveling
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Damir, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, and I mean, just like Takadi mentioned, the biggest challenge there is the players burnout. And we can see that most of the players, particularly from the European scene and the United States, they've been protesting against this, right?
yeah,
Even the FIFA Pro team, they've complained about the Global Players Union, talked about that they wanted
yeah,
to actually go on strike. We saw that, I think it was in January, sometimes in I think it was on the 2nd of June actually, where
Yeah,
the Seattle Sounders players actually wore the t-shirt explaining that, oh, this is a World Cup, catch crap.
yeah,
So they're not looking at it from the welfare of the players. You just
yeah.
mentioned it, particularly like the Premiership. I'm a Manchester United supporter. As you guys know, Manchester played over 60 something games. If United was to play in, in a tournament, it's a nightmare. How
Yeah.
do you
yeah,
expect Bruno Fernandes played 65 games in a season and then he's going to have 1 week rest to start another season in August? It's
He
yeah,
just played in the Nations League final, the
yeah,
semi
yeah,
final.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's so concerning when it comes to the players. That's the biggest, I think the main concern about the tournament itself, the negative side of it is just that workload on the players. But apart from that, because we initially talked about like the benefit for smaller clubs like in Africa, South America, and stuff like that, it's a good tournament for them for that exposure, apart from this heavy workload on the players.
yeah. Just to mention, it's also it's also an advantage for the bigger clubs because when you go for tournaments like this, you can pick players from smaller clubs at a cheaper fee rather than
Yeah.
already made players in Europe. Yeah. Okay, now let's
Oh,
talk about the squads.
just to add on that, there's actually an advantage as well for the bigger clubs because when they open up that transfer window early up in June, it gives them an ability to actually register players early.
Mm,
Yeah.
We saw an example with Chelsea, we saw an example
I was
even
about to come to the player transfer and clubs and all
okay,
that stuff. So
we'll talk about that.
FIFA gave 10 days, a 10-day period for
Yeah.
transfers. I know Chelsea made a couple. I know Man City, Real Madrid, they already appointed Xabi
mm.
Alonso a long time ago. So they've done some additions. So please let's talk about these additions and what we are looking forward to. It's too bad we can't talk about the additions from the Mamelodi Sundowns because you know it and all that stuff. But please pardon us on that. Talking about those guys.
No, yeah, it's for a club like I know Manchester United is not playing in this club World Cup,
Yeah.
but they quickly benefited from that open window and signed the first player. Within United for the past 5 years, United have always struggled to sign players just at the tail end of the transfer window.
Yeah.
So this has given them an opportunity to actually sign players early. We've seen clubs. Let me take an example, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool actually benefited $10 million or £10 million for the sale of
I know.
Arnold, who
Yeah.
was supposed to go on a free transfer, but
Yeah,
because of that open window, since his contract was to end on June 30th, and Real Madrid needed him for this club World Cup, because again, Real Madrid know that the price money there is 125 million.
yeah,
So if he can help us win that 125 million, why not pay 10 million? So you see, Liverpool was benefiting, while Real Madrid is also benefiting. So it's
yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
that little
Yeah.
opportunities that each club has.
Makes sense. Taka, do you want to talk about the squads? I know Man City has made additions.
man,
Pep Guardiola has been doing business quietly.
uh,
He started in the winter.
yeah, in January.
Right now, yeah,
No,
Mamush came
man,
in right now, so they've been doing some good business. Chelsea has also done some business. Real Madrid has done some business. So please let's dive in. I want to hear the names, the squads, and maybe some other things.
Yeah, no, Man City have done the best business in my opinion since Jan. I think
So,
that's just Pep, man. Pep and Man City. I want to call England. Like, what happened to the 115 FC charges, right? Why is people still signing players like this? Like, they're still that they're under investigation for funny business and transfers, but they're still doing this kind of moves. But it
yeah.
just tell the mentality of that club, man. Like the way they move. Like they had a terrible season for their standards, and they go back into the market, sign 5 players, right? And I'm very excited about Checky. Is it Checky? Very
Yeah,
excited
yeah,
about that
yeah.
one. It's unlike Pep. It's an unlike Pep signing. I'm like, whoa, where is he gonna play? He's a dribbler. He's a counter-attacking player. How is he gonna fit into that tiki-taka movement? So it's very interesting how he makes him fit into that role because we saw what he did to Grealish, right? That's not gonna happen with Jackie. Jackie is dribbling and running at you. So but it's a very good signing for them. Liverpool as well, really good from Liverpool. They're trying to close down on. I think it's overpriced though. With I think it's
Yeah,
150
Florian
million for
Wirtz.
that kid. Yeah, it's overpriced. But I'm very excited for. I'm very very excited for Real Madrid getting Arnold. I was surprised to see Arnold very good Spanish. I'm like, bro, you have been learning Spanish for the last. I'm like, he was so fluent. I know he was reading
Yeah.
probably, but he was so fluent in Spanish. So, it took Bale 7 years to say gracias in in Spain, but Arnold was so fluent in it. So I'm excited to see Alonso back three, Arnold wing back Arnold. I'm so excited in a Madrid team that plays the kind of attractive football that we have come to see. But not as much under Ancelotti, but probably a lot more under
Yeah.
Alonso. So it's going to be exciting. I have a lot of, I'm looking forward to a very good tournament from these clubs. Real Madrid, Liverpool. I think Liverpool's there, but Real Madrid, City,
Yeah.
um,
Atletico Madrid, Paris
Madrid,
Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich,
yes, and
Dortmund.
Chelsea. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
Chelsea.
yeah,
Mhm.
Mayo, do you want to have anything to talk about the transfer so far?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the one that still intrigues me today is Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea has over 200 players, but
Yeah.
when the transfer window opens, they are very competitive in the transfer window. So I'm kind of curious as to what's happening there. I know they took you can see Balak is laughing, but that's true. Chelsea is the biggest club in the world in terms of players, right? But they keep signing. Like
Yeah,
the lab was supposed to come to Manchester United. All of a sudden, they just went and threw a lot of money at the young guy.
yeah, yeah.
So they signed the lab, whom I think it's going to be an excited player. The question is, does he actually fit the Chelsea system of play?
Mm,
That's my biggest concern that I have, right? Will he have that kind of Kevin De Bruyne, that kind of Eden Hazard, that kind of Bruno Fernandes to feed him? Because he's not one of, based on my perspective, he's not that attacker who is going to call the ball. You need to feed him,
hmm
right? And if I look at the way the Chelsea guys play, you don't have that ball carrier who has that direct. They play as a team. They all can score together. They can do things. But he doesn't. He's a little bit different from Jackson. So,
mm,
so we'll see. We have a long season to watch, but we'll see him in the Club World Cup, and hopefully he's going to disprove me with my little knowledge that I have in soccer. Man City is Man City. We all know whether they twist the books or they don't twist the books, they keep buying.
yeah.
Uh, the one that actually in I'm a little bit interested to see his performance is Ryan, the one from Wolverhampton.
Yeah,
You know,
Nuri, Ryan Nuri, I think the Egyptian
yeah,
guy, because they
yeah,
signed two Ryans. So they signed Ryan from Lyon and Ryan from
yeah. No, Ryan Chick, yeah, the Czech guy from Lyon, then the Nuri
Yes.
yeah,
from
Yes.
yeah,
Wolverhampton, yeah, that they signed for 33 million
yeah,
pounds.
yeah. Please talk about that guy. The left back.
Yeah, I've watched him multiple times. He's
Yeah,
he's one of those legs back that I enjoy watching. He again, sometimes I'm a little bit biased. I always refer to Manchester United. He
yeah,
plays kind of similar to Patrick Evra,
Yeah.
right? He's a full-blown, full energy, ready to tackle, ready to defend, ready to provide assist if he can. And I think that's what, in terms of fullback position, City has actually lacked that. City has relied most of their play in the middle of the pack,
okay,
right? So him coming to give them that additional edge of not just being an excellent defender, but also being good going forward. I think it's going to contribute a lot because that was that. If I look at the Guardiola's team, he has, apart from somebody like Kyle Walker, who was there that you can see is a defender that you can rely on when you have those speedy defenders, those speedy attackers playing against Man City. When Kyle Walker left, they didn't have that. And you saw City considered a lot of counter-attack goals.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because once you break that they're pressing in the midfield, when they lose the ball in the midfield, and you have a fast-paced attackers, they didn't have those fullbacks that can actually recover real quick. And I think that's where Ryan is going to fit in properly.
Interesting analysis. I have a few questions because when I look at Dan Mayer was talking about a Chelsea squad. I don't know how many players City uprooted to make 5 signings. When I look, I know Jack Grealish for sure is gonna go.
Mhm.
Now, Taka, you're talking about Ryan Sheikh, who's a dribbler. I think Jeremy Doku is a dribbler, pure like 1v1 dribbler. So
Mhm.
where does he play? Then this
Mhm.
kid, is it Tejinas or what from AC Milan and so or somewhere else?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Where does he
Tijina
play? When
Rajda.
right that when
Mhm.
because Rodri is gonna be fit for the season.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Steve Bernardo Silva,
Mhm.
Kovacic is there. So how does it play out for them?
I think Silva leaves. Silva definitely leaves. I
Silva
think.
and De Bruyne has left, right? So there's
Yeah,
Yeah.
that point that they need to feed. And um, this other guy, what was it? Rodri is going to come back, but
yeah.
again, he's had a very bad injury, so you cannot rely him
Okay.
for him to carry the season, the entire season, right? So you need those backups. But City always had like 3 first team squads.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you guys have anything to say about Company and his boys, the Bayern Munich? We have the 2 German teams. I know Borussia Dortmund, they were in the market trying to sell their players. Meanwhile, they have a competition. They ended up holding some guys. But now, I want us to talk a little bit about Bayern Munich and yeah,
You know what? They had a great season.
yeah,
That's a good season. Very good season.
a
Very
great
good.
season under
Yeah,
Company.
great.
A
Yeah,
great
yeah.
season.
It was a good company. Like, because of how bad Liverpool. No, I won't say bad.
The previous
How?
season
Yeah,
was.
yes. Compared to the previous season, they did better. The previous
Yeah,
season. Yeah, they did intelligent signings. So I love the fresh new ideas that signings that they were trying to make, change the style a little bit.
yeah,
They started poorly, to be honest, but they picked up. I think company figured a few things. His management style is very tricky, though. Like I watched some videos of him screaming at players,
yep,
shouting. Like I don't know if that will work for a Bayern kind of style, Bayern kind of club. That you can do that in championship, but when you come to Bayern, it's different.
yep.
Right, it's quite
A
different. For
lot of big
example,
egos in that dressing
he
room.
goes in that club. For example, Cruz made a comment that Cruz in his last podcast, he was like, one whose coach is this? He said a particular coach in England, I forgot his name, where if you come 5 minutes late, you don't play, you don't start. He was like, if you say that in Madrid, they'll laugh at you.
Yeah,
Like, man, the players actually laugh at you. Like, because I mean, it's just the level of players that are in Madrid, right?
yeah.
That if you play that same tactics in some clubs, it will not work. But I get where you're coming from. But Bayern Munich, yeah, Bayern Munich, I think they'll do okay. Do okay. I've not. Uh, Ken, Ken is doing well, getting older, getting slower, but Ken has not rely on speed. The intelligence is still there.
Yeah.
Would they win it? Nah, I don't see them winning it, but they'll do okay. They'll do okay. I'd
Okay.
have nothing
Yeah,
deep on Bayern, but that's about it for Bayern for me.
yeah, they've picked up 2 good players. I won't say exceptional like Jonathan Tah that they picked from Leverkusen,
Yeah.
and then Tom, what's his name again? Biskov. Yeah, Tom Biskov, that one they signed from Hoffenheim.
Yeah.
I'm not a German, so sometimes I don't pronounce
Yeah.
those names.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are the 2 additions that they've added so far.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're going to have a lot of outgoing. I think there was a conversation about Leroy Sané may leave.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
To
yeah. So
Galatasaray, I think the negotiating with Galatasaray.
yes, so
For
we'll
Sané,
see. And generally Bayern usually doesn't have a very big squad.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they're not known for that huge squad like the Premiership where we have
Yep.
a team like Chelsea, Man Cities, and all the stuff that has 200 players, right? Bayern always falls between those 30s. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
That's Mola is there. Mola has played. I can't remember it. Yeah, probably that guy has played for 40 years.
No, I think he made his debut in 2010. I think they were talking. There were stories about him retiring this year. I don't
Yeah,
know if he's
Yeah.
left. Yeah, there were
yeah.
stories about him. He made his debut in 2010 under Vanguard. Yeah. So
Yeah.
before we come to the predictions and you guys hear your predictions, that you made a statement at the start about ticket sales. So ticket sales have drastically dropped. Especially
Yes.
the first game, which is supposed to kick off tomorrow evening. Um, uh, Inter Miami, of course, is playing. Now, I read somewhere online that ticket sales are going for as low as $4. That is, buy one ticket for $20 and get four tickets, which is like $4 or $5 a ticket. So, what is the main cause? This is a FIFA tournament. Is it that the United States have refused to accept football in brackets soccer for them, or is it that people what is going on? What is going on with the drastic drop of ticket sales?
What person? This is a personal opinion. When I was looking into the ticket sales, I feel that there's club fatigue, right?
Yeah,
All of us have watched the season, who have watched Bundesliga, who have watched the Premiership, and we all need that just that 1 month rest,
yeah,
right? Like I actually was supposed to go and watch the Club World Cup in the US after the CMVT tournament. I was supposed to go to the US to watch it, but
yeah.
I said to myself, you know what? I have a game to go watch in Manchester when the season starts. That's more exciting than going to watch the Club World Cup, right?
Okay.
So I think that is just club fatigue. That's the way I look at it. And considering the fact that soccer is not a big thing in the United States
Yeah.
as we think, and they're also having a lot of off-season NHL,
Yeah.
NFL tournaments and stuff like
NBA
that.
going on.
Yeah. So is it a good timing? Yes, the fact that it's not a mid-season kind of tournament, but what's the appeal for it? Maybe they oversold it or over anticipated the importance of this. But I think it's just our club fatigue.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I agree with Daniel too as well. Club fatigue, like fans need to rest. It's an emotional roller coaster, man. Supporting a
Yeah.
football team. Like you go through, you're looking forward to that final Champions League final, your final game, your final clubs game, and then you take a break. Then you're looking forward to transfers and like friendlies, and now you have to another competition is coming in. It's a lot. It's a lot, and it's just again, I think the location too. America too is a very tricky spot for FIFA. Like even next year, FIFA World Cup is going to be very very interesting. To see how are we going to have the same ticket issues too as well. The political climate is not great right now.
Yeah, the political climate.
It's
Yeah.
not great right now for any community bring people together, sport event. Like it's just not just great right now. So I think that's one thing that maybe the FIFA World Cup they didn't actually consider. They didn't think that's going to be like maybe it's going to be this bad because a lot of people are like, you know what? A lot of Europeans in particular, they're like, I'm not going to go to the US and deal with that drama. Like
Yeah.
why? I might end up going to IC and lock me on. Yeah, and they're just like, nah, I'm just going to stay in Europe and watch it on the TV. So that's what's going on too as well with
Yeah.
attendance.
Now, personally, I wanted to first of all remain just at the level of the
Yeah,
football side as a football fan. But you're right. There's a lot of political thing that has affected this, right?
yeah,
Just like Canadians no longer. Very few Canadians travel to for the last 6 months travel to the US for vacation.
yeah,
Many people have canceled their vacation because they're rioting against the tariffs, right?
yeah.
So that plays a huge part into this. And when you go ahead and you bounce 19, is it 19 different countries from the
Yeah.
US,
Yeah.
that alone has already restricted the amount of people that would have loved to come and actually watch those games.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. So the ticket sales, so based on what you said, Taka, ticket sales might be slow, but you think broadcasting is gonna be okay. So people are still gonna watch through the TV and all that stuff. Now, because I know based on my little background search, there's a big rift between FIFA and UEFA, and that has been for long because FIFA is trying for this thing to really succeed.
Yeah.
Now, before this Club World Cup, there was the talk of the Super Cup. Was it a
Super,
Super
yeah, Super League.
Mhm.
It's
Super
Europe
League?
classic. Something
Yeah.
Super
yeah.
League,
Yeah, so I know the Super League, which did not succeed and was
Yeah.
used by some presidents in Europe to
Yeah.
succeed.
Yeah.
Now, if this turns out sour for FIFA with the low ticket sales, what does it mean? So how do we go forward? Because this tournament is supposed to take place the next 4 years in a
Mhm.
different location. So where do they move from here? There's already a $1 billion from Design for
Yeah.
Design, yeah. Mhm.
broadcasting.
Yeah.
So where do they go from there?
If this doesn't work out,
Yeah.
like so it's every 4 years that FIFA
Every
World
four
Cup.
years, yes.
Every
We'll
four
try
years.
again. We'll try again.
We'll
I'll market,
try again for
I'll
years.
market it better.
Yeah. This is not going anywhere. I think FIFA, I think in my opinion, I think they were like, no what, it's okay. This game is only increasing popularity.
Yeah,
Like even with all this political climate thing,
yeah,
US actually is the most opportunity for football. right? The growth opportunity is immense there. So
Yeah.
that's why we noticed they're trying to tap into that 300 million population
Yeah.
country. Yeah, all these clubs are now having affiliation friendly games in the US because the opportunity is there. So people are like, you know what? Yeah, a billion prize pool. We're going to invest a lot of money into here. We're going to see how it goes. If the tickets sour, they're still going to push next 4 years a lot better and
And they
harder.
are claiming they are not
Yeah,
making any profit
yeah,
from this edition. That's what they're saying. They're saying everything that comes in is going to the clubs. That's what FIFA is
yeah,
saying. I didn't say it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
then
yeah,
you have to
Yeah,
you
yeah, because they're putting aside 250 million that's going to go to smaller clubs, just even though the ones that are not participating, right?
yeah.
yeah,
To ensure that they are supporting and growing that. Yeah, it's a good idea for them to share the money to clubs because the clubs are the people who are making instead of having those guys keep the money in their pockets. Let's share the money to the clubs.
yeah.
But I also don't see this dying. I think this is going to go for a long time. If this tournament was in Europe, I can guarantee you that the prices will be a lot different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that the next calculation, if we were to sit here to advise FIFA or tell FIFA that by default select a European nation to host this. If you host this in England, you are guaranteed that all the stadiums will be full.
Yeah.
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 Anything soccer, those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's just a wrong place that the first tournament is hosting, considering the political climate and a lot of the other macro factors.
Yeah. So right now it's time for predictions. As I earlier said, it started in 2000. It has been a European and a CONMEBOL affair. That is,
Yeah.
Europeans and South Americans. Real Madrid are the highest champions with five titles. I actually saw the trophy online. The trophy is amazing. This new one, it has a
Okay.
key. If you haven't seen the trophy, please check online on FIFA's website. The trophy is amazing. You want to live that trophy. Now, so Dan Mayo, I need you to pick me two favorites, just two. I don't want to put you under so much pressure to pick one. Yeah, remember Real Madrid is there. This club is also there. This club is also
Oh,
there.
are you telling me to pick Real Madrid?
No, I'm just saying to pick you. No, no, no. Yeah, please, your predictions. Your predictions. I want to get your predictions.
Because I was like, why are you reminding me that Real Madrid is there
Yeah,
when I already
people from the White
already
House,
have
Real
my
Madrid
prediction?
boys, don't come after me. Yeah, they say they are
Well,
the
in,
best of
in,
you.
in actual fact, in
Yeah,
actual fact, when it comes to club competition, I know that they did not perform very well in the Champions League,
yeah,
so they might use this as a correction. So Real Madrid knows how to play tournaments,
yeah,
and I think that I will actually give them a spot.
yeah.
Then this is a wish. Not that they deserve it, but my second pick is going to be you're laughing, but that will be my melody.
Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yes.
Oh, Woza.
Yeah.
Safa.
Yeah. Let's get one African country in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Let the guys go there. It's 7 games. They only have 7 games,
Games.
man,
Yeah,
to win
Yeah.
125 million.
Damn.
7 games. Put in every effort. Most of these European players want to go on vacation. You
Yeah.
guys play that 7 days and shock the world just like Cameroon did in the Olympics.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
he didn't go for any Latin American country, Taka.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Latin American team.
yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting pick. I get the emotional Sundowns one, but you can wish it can happen. But yeah, no, I think for me, I was thinking PSG, but I'm looking at the fatigue. I'm looking at, and they have had quite a busy season, really, really busy season. Can they push 7 strong games? Maybe. I'll go Madrid first because I'm a bit hesitant because of the new system, but I don't think Alonso would change a whole lot. I think he will took a few things here and there, but I don't think he'll change a whole lot. I think Madrid really wants to like remind the world, like you know what, we had a bad season, but don't play with us. Like we can win this, right? There's a reason why we're the record holders for this tournament. So Real Madrid for me, first one, and then second one. You know what? I'm going to look in towards the South American. I'm going to look at. Is that I don't feel like a lot, but I'm looking at Flamengo.
Yeah.
Flamengo, maybe
I
Flamengo,
think they've won it
Palmeiras.
once too. They've won it once too.
They won it once, so
I
I'm
think
looking at
is it from
Flamengo. Like, you know
Flamengo
what?
Palmeiras? Yeah.
Yeah, Palmeiras. Them. Do they have
Yeah.
do they have it in them to have that run? I don't know. So Flamengo and Real Madrid for me are the two teams that I'm looking at. That
Do
could.
you guys Chelsea and Man City are taking part in this competition? Do you guys know that? Right?
What about Boca Junior?